Beware of the Storybook Wolves, with Herb, the boy whose book came to life, by Lauren Child. Every night time, Herb's mother would read him a bedtime story. Sometimes it was about a big wolf who terrified little girls and their grandmothers with his chilling growl and his big yellow teeth. You could tell from the picture that toothpaste had never been on his shopping list. The story got very nasty in the middle, and everybody nearly came to a sticky end. But by the last page, it had all turned out well and went happily ever afterly. It was one of Herb's favourites. He particularly liked the back cover that had a picture of a smaller wolf with a patch over one eye and the words, "For a real thrill, try reading the story of the little wolf and the 3 little pigs. It will scare your socks off." "It scared my socks off," Cinderella. "I couldn't sleep after reading this," Rumpelstiltskin. "It was a real thrill reading this story," a woodcutter. Whenever his mother finished this bedtime story, Herb would say, "Don't forget to take that book with you." And his mother would ask, "Why?" "Because there's a wolf in it, of course," Herb would say. Herb's mother would smile to herself, because she knew that storybook wolves are not at all dangerous. One night, just as they were finishing the wolf story, the telephone rang. In her hurry, Herb's mother forgot all about taking the book with her. Herb didn't realise at first, but as he was snoozing off, he thought he heard a deep rumbling sound coming from his bedside table. It was like the rumbling of a very hungry tummy, or perhaps even 2 very hungry tummies. Then he began to smell a not very nice smell, a sort of bad breath type of a smell. Herb got a funny feeling that 2 or maybe even 3 eyes were watching him. Unwisely, he switched on the light. And there, standing in front of him, was the big storybook wolf, and next to him was the other smaller wolf with a patch over one eye. Herb recognised him as the back cover wolf. Big Wolf said in a low, greedy voice. "I thought I could smell something tasty. I'm going to gobble you up, little boy." And he started to lick his chops. "Oh, can I have his little pink toes? They look just like piglets," said Little Wolf. And he tried to lick his chops, but he wasn't very good at it and just ended up dribbling on the floor. "I wouldn't eat me yet," stammered Herb, desperately trying to think of a plan to distract the wolves from wolfing him. "Why not?" said Big Wolf, giving him a sideways stare. "Yes, why not?" said Little Wolf, trying to give him a sideways stare. Because little boys are for pudding. You have to start with starters, of course." "I didn't know that," said Big Wolf. "Really?" said Herb, feeling a little bit pleased with his own craftiness. "I thought everybody knew that." "Oh, I knew that," said Little Wolf. "No, you did not," said Big, slightly less fierce than before Wolf. "Yes, I certainly did," said Little Wolf, puffing himself up. "Well, if you're so clever, then what's starters?" blustered Big Wolf. You could tell that Little Wolf hadn't even heard of starters, but not wishing to sound stupid, he shouted, "Jelly is starters. Everybody knows that." Then Big Wolf and Little Wolf looked at Herb and said, "Where's the jelly?" Jelly. Where was a jelly? Herb's mind was whirring like a frantic thing. Then he caught sight of his book of fairy tales. He'd been looking at it last night, and it was lying open on the page where the dozy princess falls asleep at her own birthday party. No one at the table would notice if he borrowed a jelly. They were all snoozing, tired of waiting for Princess Beautiful to wake up. Herb was so busy struggling to slide the jelly off the page, he didn't notice the wicked fairy wide awake and hiding under the table. She had been listening to every word. This was bad luck for Herb, because the wicked fairy hated little boys only slightly less than she hated little girls. They made her very nervous. She'd seen what those little brats Hansel and Gretel had done to that poor defenceless witch. Not only did they nibble her cottage half to pieces, but they went and shoved her in her own oven. Children put her in a very bad mood indeed. "Oh, you dozy doormats, don't you know anything?" snarled the fairy. "Your wolf half-wits give wickedness a bad name. He's tricked you, you twerps. Little boys are starters. Jelly is pudding." And with that, the wicked fairy jumped back into the book and snapped it shut. First, the wolves went almost purple in the cheeks with embarrassment. Then their eyes went all mean and squinty. Herb could tell things had taken a turn for the really quite bad. So he snatched up the fairy tale book, found the page with the fairy godmother, and shook it until she tumbled out of the book and onto the floor. She was a bit cross, actually, because her dress got crumpled and she nearly twisted her ankle. "Well," she said, "I've got a good mind to turn you into a